feel like this is probably the most similar to how our old car felt to me. So, yeah, honestly, I would tend to agree with him. I feel like my biggest complaints are really driver compartment centralized more than anything. Just trying to get the pedals to feel comfortable and the right angles and all those things, which are very personal to every driver. People are going to have different different tendencies and wants in that area.
With just a week out before the Clash, what are your thoughts on heading to a stadium as iconic as the LA Coliseum?
Yeah, it's just crazy that we're already through January and starting February more than anything. I just can't believe that time's flying like it is right now. But just excited to get the season going. I think it's a great great venue. I think it's going to be a fun event, and that's what it was intended to be, is a fun and exciting event to kick off our season. And I think it's going to do exactly that. So, if you're going to try something, that's a great race to go and try it with, because it's no points. It's not like it really matters at the end of the day. So we'll either hit a home run as an industry or not. Hopefully so, and I think it has a lot of potential to do that. So hopefully it's entertaining and people have fun watching, and at home and on TV. And then obviously the folks that are there, hopefully they can get that thing sold out and have a nice looking crowd.
What's it been like for you being a part of this entire transition period? Like, it's a big moment in the sport.
Yeah, it's different. I've never gone through this, kind of my first time with a car change, especially one this big. And I think too, I'm not sure that this industry, or at least the Cup Series, has ever seen a change quite this large. I mean, they've changed bodies and things over the years, but a lot of the components were very similar to what they had prior to that. This is not. I mean, this is a very different approach. A lot of new things, new designs, and things like that. So it'll be interesting. I've told a lot of people I feel like there's going to be a lot change in the first 6 months of the season. I think people are likely going to go to some of these racetracks and probably not know exactly how they want to build their cars and have their cars trimmed out and what type of aerodynamic package you want to have. And then you're going to get 6 months into this deal and everybody's going to kind of have an idea and a direction of where they want to go, and you're probably going to see things close up, I would say, in the latter part of the year. But I'm anxious to go through that learning process and kind of see who guesses right first, and hopefully it's us. And then whether it is or it, and you definitely want to make sure you're on the upswing at the right time, like always, and I think that swing is going to be a pretty big one this year.
Other drivers such as Daniel Suarez and Michael McDowell have talked about how there could be a less of a gap between the top drivers and the other teams. How do you see that from your perspective with this new car?
I think the top drivers are always going to be the top drivers. I think the guys who are really good are always going to be really good. And I think whether there's a really large window of an opportunity or a really small one to differentiate yourself from the next guy, I think your really talented drivers are going to find that, and they're going to be able to replicate it more often than not. And I think that goes in the same tune with the teams. I think the smart people are going to figure things out quicker than the ones who aren't. And the innovators and leaders are going to have more success with finding those things than the guys who are following. So I don't know that a lot's going to change there. You might be working in a different window, but I think the guys who are really good are still going to be really good, and the teams who are really good are still going to be hard to beat. Hopefully it gives opportunity to folks who might not have as much funding to compete on a higher level. But I still think we're still racing. We're still motorsports, and we all know how that works.
It seems like we've been doing a lot of testing in the off season, but I'm not sure how much actual time individual drivers have had in this car. But I just wondered, as you start next week with actually doing some racing, how do you feel? What's your personal comfort level as to? Do you have a general idea what you might expect when you actually get out on the racetrack with other drivers?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like the Clash is going to be such a such a departure from the rest of our season. I mean, that track and how small it is, and the things that are going to take place out there, I feel like is just going to be really, really different from what we're going to see all year. We're going to be going really slow. The corners are going to be really tight, and that's not the norm at all. So potentially a good opportunity for us to kind of get our feet wet though in an environment like that. But I think to compare that to the rest of them would probably be a mistake. But I feel good about going out there and racing. I think we can go put on a good show, and whether the race is really good or not, I think that you have an opportunity in an environment like that to make it an exciting event, and I think we have a chance as an industry to do that, and I think we will. So hopefully it's exciting and people enjoy being there and have fun and enjoy that venue, because that might be the only time we ever do it. So we might ought to all enjoy this while it's here and make the most of it. I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of learn as you go. I haven't driven a car on a speedway, so my first opportunity will be Tuesday of the week of the 500. And then as we go out west, we're going to go to California, which I don't know that anybody has been out there. Maybe they have, but that's going to be different. We haven't really driven on a track that is that flat and that big. Charlotte, was a mile and a half. I did do a test there, and I did the Roval, test too. So I might have an idea what you're going to see at Vegas. And then obviously we're here. So yeah, we'll see. But there's definitely a lot to learn. I think a lot of things that we don't really know the answer to just yet. And the other thing is, when we start tearing these things up, what's our time frame look like of getting them back together properly and back to the racetrack, and how quickly are we going to run through our inventory, because I think it's pretty small right now. So all these things are up in the air.
Hey, Chase, Kenny Sargent, Speed Freaks, and John Probst was in here earlier talking about the build of this car and the camaraderie and the input that they've taken from teams and drivers per se. From your perspective, do you feel that the intake from the drivers and maybe the team owners has been consequential in the development of where we are with this next-gen car?
Yeah, I mean, I don't sit in on the owner meetings or anything like that. I've been in a couple of the driver meetings there after we tested at Charlotte and things of that nature. But I don't know. I probably have a little different opinion. I almost don't even want an opinion, just because it's not my job, right, to design these things and to sit back and act like I know what's right, because I don't think I know every detail of the way it should be, and I'll be the first one to tell you that. So the way I view it is, it's 2022. We should never be taking a step backwards. As long as we're taking steps forward and safety and innovation and product on the racetrack, then I'm good. And I think that we have an opportunity to do that. And it's the same for everybody. It's kind of my viewpoint on it. Everybody kind of has this box to start in, and we're all very fortunate to do this for a living. So I don't want to be the guy to police it. I just want to go and do my job and try to go faster than the rest of them, and do my part and go on down the road.